We're back.
I've been working on it. Working on it. I've been working on it. Working on.
We're back with another episode of Working On It.
We got some special guests.
We do. We have Woo Woo. We have Daryl, my husband, and we have Riley.
Riley in the house.
It's a cute boy, Riley.
Hello.
He loves the chords.
Yes.
Yes. He likes to touch.
Blah, 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 blah,
He's
blah.
just learning senses.
And they're here for the Working On Breakups. But we're happily married and everything's great.
This is great. I mean, I feel like, Daryl, you had pretty amicable. Did you have amicable breakup?
Daryl got cheated on all the time.
Okay, maybe not amicable. My bad. I don't know why I missed that.
No. I mean, the breakups were amicable
Got it. But it was for
because
not
it was
good
like
reasons.
one chance, two chance, not gonna be.
Dude, one time he found this girl cheating on him, caught this girl, and then he stayed with her and didn't talk to her about it.
You're 19 years old. Are you in love? Are you in lust? You don't really know.
Right.
You're young.
Yeah, she was hot. You found out what
And-
happened.
And
Child is
Oh,
here.
I said pop.
and you make mistakes, so you learn. You know.
Yeah. I
That's all.
mean,
I'll never cheat on you. I love you.
Same. I love you too.
yeah, you guys are good.
We're good.
Got it.
You don't.
I met one of
today.
your past lovers.
You never had like a real breakup.
I
never
was a
been,
piece
like,
of shit. I
dumped.
texted. Yeah, I've never.
You've
That's
been
a- that's a-
denied,
that's a rite of
but you've never been
I did the
dumped.
text thing once.
I think it was like a fucking Facebook message, dude. Listen, that one was a fucking train wreck. It was up and down.
It
you
was
know,
not a good relationship.
I would think we're together. She's like, yeah, but I fucked this guy. I'm sorry. I'm like, what?
Oh my god.
So I'm in college. I'm like, yeah, you know what? This is not gonna work. But I should have called her. I should have,
You Facebook messaged her?
It was some sort of messaging app. It was not good. But I mean, listen, it worked out. She seems happy.
She's great.
Friendly now, though, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you're friends.
we'll talk from time to time. I think she was in LA. I just missed her, but I was in marathon mode.
Damn, I would love to.
It was
see her.
like Kevin hit me up, was like, come to the Rams game. I was like, listen, dude, I'm on a mission. I used COVID as an excuse, but it was really just, I was so focused on getting that fucking thing done.
You did it.
Can't be bothered, you know? But yeah, and then I pretty much just like avoided any relationship. Anytime a girl was just like, I really, really like you, I go, oh, and I just would stop talking. I was
yeah.
fear of
Something about
commitment.
that.
Yeah,
Yes.
child,
Yes.
child, piece of shit.
Piece of shit.
Yeah.
We're working on
You
that.
weren't ready.
Wasn't ready.
You just weren't ready.
This was the thing. Like I knew. I was just like, I'm not. Yeah, exactly. I'm
You
not
weren't
ready.
the person-
I was not the person that I needed to be for the relationship. I was like, I will let this girl down.
I've always been a hopeless romantic. Always was. Always will be.
So
I
you were
love
just like
you.
hoping for the best.
So yeah, the first person that wanted to date me, I was like, "You're amazing." And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
my first real relationship, Matt. I have this weird thing with Matts. I don't fuck with Matts, man, because I dated like 3 of them. But
I
my
think it's because your first love was my friend
first
Matt.
love of my life.
Matt Bulmer, shout out, baby.
Oh, and that Matt, dude, I have like 4 Matts in my life. Yes.
Just give me a chance, cause now I'm older.
That was
Just
the
give
first
me a
song ever,
chance,
because-
cause now I'm wiser.
Shut
give me
up.
a chance.
Now I'm stronger.
13 years
The
old.
last line, give me a chance. I'm a survivor.
Oh,
Of what, bitch? What? Just having a great life. Shut the
you're
fuck up.
13, bro.
Okay,
Love
so
it.
that was my 13-year-old song from my first Matt that I loved. But my first real relationship of like, you are my boyfriend, I am your girlfriend. Matt, I don't want to say his full name, but Matt, and he's like he's not on social media, so I don't know if he's dead or alive. And it's like,
Right.
it's just.
I mean, that was a
weird.
situation where I was just like, I'm not really going to get to know this guy because I already know this is not going to be the one. Like, when I met Daryl, I was like, oh, fuck.
Oh, man.
This is the long run,
Really?
baby. Yeah.
You really knew when you met
Because I have
Daryl?
such a firm handshake.
I just knew. I was like, this goofy goober,
because-
dude. She's
okay,
going to
listen.
love this guy forever.
My first boyfriend ever, when he shook his hand, they called him Dead Fish.
It was
Because he had,
ridiculous.
like,
Give me your hand.
It was.
And I'm like, what is happening? Yeah.
So he didn't make a good impression. So I told Daryl, when you shake
You
his
can't
hand,
shake. Yeah.
fucking grab his hand.
These are all you gave Daryl all the lessons,
Yeah.
dude. I love it.
You're the guy I'm supposed to meet.
Yeah, yeah.
It worked.
All right, we got someone awesome coming into the Zoom call here.
Yeah,
Dr.
Dr.
Darcy
Darcy
Sterling,
Let's add her
a
in.
relationship mastermind, we could say.
Doctor, yes. I can't wait to learn.
Doctor.
Dr. Darcy,
What's up? Hi.
Yo.
you're stunning.
Wow, stop. You guys are a whole complete family. Look at you.
Yes, we
Yeah.
are. This
Let me change my view so I have you big. There we go.
Look at
now I
that.
can see
You got the
Ryan.
gore. Is that the sun shining on you?
You're
What is happening?
glowing.
Oh, you guys. I bet you do this to all your guests.
No,
No,
we
no, no.
don't.
You have a
I
very
promise.
particular nice camera. Like this
Yeah,
is
you're
all the-
gorgeous.
Thank you
It's not
guys.
the camera, it's her. Stupid.
Like,
see,
what I meant
it's
was, like,
women.
what I'm
This is why I'm a
looking at.
lesbian. This is 100% why I'm a lesbian.
It was-
I love you so much.
Listen,
Your
Camera must be really expensive.
I
You're
know.
great.
And I'm like ready to send you a fucking link of the webcam because I'm like, must be my webcam, you know?
No. it's
Thank you, Megan.
it's also the shoulder out. You're working it. This is good.
Gorgeous.
Thank you so much,
Jesus
guys.
Christ.
What are you sipping
What is-
on?
I'm sipping on some calm tea. You know, I have a perpetual sort
Calm
of like
tea?
calm, like
Okay,
chamomile. Yeah.
Got it. I thought it was
it
something
kind
else.
of offsets my energy so that people find me tolerable.
Come on, just, I want you to know. Stay spicy. I want to see some action.
There's
Okay.
literally
Sit
no amount
back.
of calm tea or anything that's going to make me less than that.
Yes.
What is
This
your
is-
baby boy's
This
name?
is my husband, Daryl, and this is Riley, my sweet baby
Hi,
boy.
Riley. What's your husband's name one more time?
Daryl.
Daryl. Nice to meet
Yes.
you guys.
Nice to meet you,
Nice to meet you.
And this is Ryan.
I'm Ryan.
Hi,
Aggressive.
Ryan.
I'm Megan. We're so
Hi,
grateful that you could
Megan.
join our podcast.
I kind of wish I was on the couch with you.
I know,
know,
it's
me
a big
too.
enough couch, but yes.
Yeah.
We're talking about breakups in this podcast episode. And we hear that you're the queen, you know
Yeah,
everything,
you're-
and that you
you're
could
the-
teach us some stuff.
I
Even
know.
though we're
Messiah.
we're happily married, never gonna break up ever. This guy hasn't been through a lot of relationships, and
I've avoided many.
he's voided. So if he does get one and it's not the one, they're gonna have to break up, and I want him to be prepared.
100%. Have you had experience, Megan, with breakups?
Yes, my first love ever. We dated for 2 years in high school, and and I was like, we were naming our kids, and we were gonna get married, and then he went off to college a year before me and left me in the dust, and I freaked out and was so broken and wrote albums, and yeah. Never
So
saw him
that
ever again.
inspired a lot of your earlier work?
Yes, it did. So
Yeah.
it helped. It worked out.
I mean, it worked out for everybody in the world because we got to hear it. We got the art from it, but you know, you had to stitch up that heart of yours.
Yes, I did. It hurt.
So how'd you get past it? I mean, you were super young also, right?
I was super young. I made many mistakes during it. One time I got drunk in high school and I called him and left him a message that was like, I hope you die. You know, like I was like, I hope your family gets in trouble or something. Like I was terrible. I had one of those. I've done it all. I definitely had a meltdown moment. I would call him and be like, but it's me. Like, what do you mean? It's baby. Like, I'm the love of your life.
baby.
It's me. So I regret a lot of stuff. We did the classic, like, let's hook up one more time and let's hang out and let's talk. Terrible idea. Regretted that. So yeah, after breakups after that, I was like, we will never
Yeah,
see each
what do
other or
you
talk to each
think?
other ever again. Goodbye.
Are people able to
I-
like still be friends after this? After a
You know,
breakup?
I think we can be friends. When you were describing the first boyfriend, the first breakup, it was reminding me. So my first boyfriend is actually renovating my beach house right now as we
Shut
speak,
up.
finishing it up. I
That's kinda
swear,
swag.
yeah.
That's great.
It was a whacked out situation that I would even like bring him in on something like that. But you know, so yes, I do think we can be friends with exes. I think there needs to be a pause, a break after the breakup, because if we try to segue right into friendship, the person who was broken up with is still of course has feelings. It's going to be such an uneven power. There's going to be a power imbalance because, the person who still has feelings is going to be hoping that it's going to change. It's also going to slow down that person's ability to heal. We need a break to heal. But
How long
then
do you think that break should be? Like a year or?
I mean, I think it depends on the couple and the two individuals. I like to be friends with my exes. Your mic's not working. He's like,
I heard half the time of the relationship is sometimes how long it takes to get over someone.
I mean, I think it depends on the couple or the individuals. It depends on how deep the feelings were, how intense the feelings were, and how what kind of shape the person was with the deepest feelings, what kind of shape they were in before at the start of the relationship. Because, the rate at which we recover from breakups has a lot to do with the wounds we had before the breakups, And so I don't know about you, but like I got, no disrespect to the ex, that one, but I got over him pretty fast. And I was able to go right into a friendship with him within probably a couple, I could have been friends with him right away. It just so happened that we like disconnected for a minute and, reconnected a couple years later. But here we are decades later. And like, I'm like getting off the phone with him. I'm like, love you. And it's, but it depends on, subsequent breakups took me much longer to get over. And so it depends because with each breakup, there was another wound that had to be healed. So I really think it depends on the two people. I think we're talking at least half a year. You should have at least half a year away from each other, just as like a general rule. You can't get over someone while you're still under someone. So you absolutely have to have some space.
That.
And that last hookup, man, the clock resets, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, well, my last hookup was sad. So I was like, oh, this isn't supposed to be. It was like a big build up. And then I was like, I drove 2 hours for this. It was sad. It was, I went to Boston. It was tough. I have a question for you, though. Are you with someone now?
I am. I'm married.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you. It's been a long time. I think it's been 12 years. She'll kill me. I'm with a woman now.
Love that.
Amazing.
Congratulations.
But then when the same common denominators showed up with women that I had with men, I realized it was like time to do some of that deeper work that I had been trying to bypass. I'm just human, just trying to avoid the hard work in life.
Yes.
If I can take the path of least resistance, I'm going to sniff it out and find it.
That's what I'm talking about, dude. That's how I live my entire life.
You guys are similar.
My mother always said, work smarter, not harder. And I took that literally.
So last night I was hanging out with a buddy. He dated this girl for like 3 years, and all last night. So it's been a couple months, and he's just like, I'm just like so happy. Is that crazy? I'm just so happy.
After they broke up.
Yeah. It's been a couple months, but then he's like, but last night, I wanted to text her and just to be like, are you okay? And I got a little teary-eyed, but I was the better man, and I didn't text. What do you think's happening with this guy?
He was being the better man. No, he was being the better man because you go and check on that woman, that person.
It opens up the bag of tricks.
100%. You got that. Yes. It totally opens it all up again. And women, we like to spin things. We don't take things as is. We try to read between the lines and who knows what she's projecting into that outreach. He was good for him to have
I gotta reassure him then, be like, you're doing the right thing. Yeah. And it's okay for him to feel okay. That's because I feel like you said you got over it pretty quickly. It moved on. Like, he's good.
It's kind of like any kind of look, when we break up, we go through a grieving process the same way we do when we lose somebody to death. And, I just recently lost my mom, and
God,
I can
sorry.
tell you that like there have been moments where I've experienced like great joy in the last month and a half, 2 months, and I've been like, ooh, is that okay? It's human nature to question whether or not the good feelings mean that somehow cancel out the loss that you had. And we're meant to not be in any emotional state indefinitely. Our emotions, they ebb and they flow, they come and they go. And now I sound like I'm trying to be a poet.
No, you sound amazing.
It's great
You sound
stuff.
so smart.
It's blowing my
I want
mind.
to say, like, the only thing I wanted to say in this episode is this is what really fucks me up about relationships, is that, and I think you've experienced this kind of on a low level, is like the hardest part about a breakup is that it's like almost worse than a death, because it's like they're choosing to live their entire life without you.
Ooh,
They're not like, oh,
so
they're not like
true.
passed on. They're like, oh no, I wish to be not with you. And so it's like harder than death, because you're like, you're living a full life without me and you want to be away from me.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like you've experienced that on a low level, but that's like the hardest
Somewhat.
part for me in any relationship. You all right, kid? You're
I think it's
grunty?
just like karma for me because I've done that to people.
You've done that
So,
to people?
well,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
you've done that to
yeah.
girls.
What am I? Yeah.
Oh. But that's
It's all
okay.
part of
But
life.
how do
But
like
here's the situation. Like I was saying, like, look, I was traveling with you constantly. I knew I was not going to be a good match for anybody because I also drank a lot. I recently sobered up, but you know,
Good for you.
Things happen. I'm a very social person. I meet a lot of people. I was running around. You know, now I'm still not really looking for anything, but if something happens to, if she rocks my world, she rocks my world, and I will fully commit, you know, like, but I don't know. I feel I still like being single. I don't know why. Like Meghan, I feel like she shames me all the time of like, you should have a girlfriend. You should get married. You should do this. I kind of like what I'm doing, and I feel okay with myself.
You know,
I do that?
Yeah, you do all the time.
Did
Yes,
you know that you
Darcy?
shamed? Did you know that you shamed? That he feels shamed?
No, I think that I've been trying to encourage him to go to therapy. He's very against it. So he's now because
I'm only against it because you say it so much.
That he thinks I'm nagging, and I just like I have the greatest relationship of all time, and he's my best friend. And I look at it and I'm like, man, I wish my brother had someone like this. You know, I wish there was a female version of Daryl.
One day.
Also, Meghan has zero patience.
Yeah.
So it's like I also want those things for your brothers, but like I know it'll happen for them when it happens.
Eventually,
In due
yeah.
time,
In
yes,
due
it
time,
does.
just like anything.
It's
She's
just
very
any new girl that
you
comes
gotta-
in, she's like, oh my god, they've got to meet everybody, and we have to.
My mom's like it too, though. My mom will like be like, "Oh my God, you know what? Ryan should marry Haley Steinfeld. That would be gorgeous."
But I do wonder.
Dude,
I
she's
do
so out of my
wonder.
league.
Like, no, he totally gave you a gem there. He's like, part of the reason I resist therapy is because you mention it so often. So I do think that
Yes.
there's a little game that you can play. So we'll
Yes.
pretend that he's not listening, that Ryan's not
Yes.
listening right now. If you want it, talk about it less.
Yes,
You know what I'm
gonna do
saying?
that.
And
I'm literally
and
gonna do that.
also, I mean, it's good self-control. It's like good discipline to just exercise that muscle in general in
Yes.
life, I find, says the girl who has zero impulse control and takes stimulants to help. FYI. Part of why I have to take the COMT because I have a constant extended release something running through my veins all day long.
I love it.
But you know, when Ryan knows that any woman that he's dating, you know, mom and his sister, you know, really want to like lean into that relationship and make that a big thing, it may raise the bar to a level where, I don't know, let me not talk for you, Ryan. Like, what's it like?
I mean,
That
this,
makes
you're pretty much
sense.
spot on.
It makes
It's
sense.
like
There's a
you're
lot
good.
of it's like a lot of pressure, I guess, because he hasn't had a real relationship in so long that we're all just like we were like on edge for a minute of like can't wait to have for him to have a girlfriend. So I get that. So I'm gonna back off and be like, you know what? You shouldn't have a girlfriend.
Or
This is
just
reverse
act indifferent.
psychology.
Pretend you don't care. Like when he introduces you to her, barely make
Yeah.
eye contact, be like, what's up? And like walk
Our
away.
family, I don't know
we're
how
very,
your
like, the whole family's very loving and like, what's up with you?
Yes,
Like,
I don't know how your family is too, but it's like when one of us dates someone, like Daryl has to marry my whole family along with me.
get thrown
It's
into
kinda
the
that.
trainer fire.
100%.
So whoever this poor, like this sweet
Yeah.
girl, whoever this girl gonna be, she got to go through a couple tests. You know?
100%.
She gotta
But-
marry all of us.
But she first has to pass the litmus test of Ryan. So wait, is the deal that you just don't want him to attach to somebody until you like her?
That also could be a part of this. This is some deep shit right now. This is some therapy. I just like I have maybe I have high standards for you.
Yeah, but I've learned her high standards are good standards. Like it's not like wrong. She gives me like good red flags. She's like, hey, this is. I'm like, yeah, you know what? You're probably right. And then we move on. Like there's a lot of women in the ocean. I don't know. There's a lot of options.
there's a lot of women in the ocean.
City of Los Angeles. Like I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
28. I'm starting to finally like. I'm really concerned with taking care of myself and worrying about myself. And then I think I couldn't even have a relationship before because I didn't know who the fuck I was.
Because you didn't
and
know how to love yourself.
Yeah,
And let me just tell you, when you don't know yourself, you're like the blind leading the blind because your partner totally looks to you to guide them on what you like and what you don't like. And when you don't know the answers to that, you've got two people who are completely like walking question marks.
Yeah.
Yep.
I feel terrible.
So
It was a train wreck every
you
time.
had to go through all this too. Like I'm
that's why
glad
I'm
you
like,
went
it's
through
no
the
rush.
sobriety thing.
I mean, I'm not going to say
single.
that this is why Meghan wanted you to be in therapy because that would just expedite that whole thing. But like, see, I'm doing exactly what I told you not to do. Sorry.
I told you. No, he would thrive, but he'll do
Listen,
it later in life.
I like to do everything the hard way. It's okay.
It is
So he has
totally
the meditation.
okay.
The
It is-
meditation is
Yes.
therapeutic.
Meditation.
He's been meditating.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
I
He's
feel
been running.
much better. Did the marathon.
He ran the
no
New York
more
Marathon.
Running. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You were just here
I was just in New York City. Is that where you're
last
at? Yeah.
Sunday. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm in New
Sunday.
York.
Yep.
Yeah.
I flew back Tuesday.
That marathon, it really tripped me up. I was like half a block away from getting my highlights done, and I couldn't cross over First Avenue
That
because
stupid
I had to walk
marathon.
all the way down. I was on
Oh my God.
75th.
How
I
many
had to
blocks
walk-
do you have to walk?
I had to walk down to 57th Street and then run back up to 75th Street just to get half a block over. I
Yeah, no, that
basically feel
sucks.
like I ran my own marathon.
Yeah, you did. You did. You did your own little marathon, and then the highlights look, fantastic.
Cry me a
worth
river.
it.
Thank you. I was literally an hour and a half late. I walked in dripping sweat. I had looked cute beforehand, and I walked in and I'm like, should I just go home now? And he's, I was totally waiting for him to be like, girl, I cannot handle you today.
Oh my God.
But back
That's
to
so
breakups.
Yeah,
and I'm glad you're taking care of yourself because, taking care of yourself, spending time alone, really sitting into your own experience, that is the work of getting to know yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, I pretty much did that for the last like 5 months. Really, I wish I did that during the quarantine. I did not do the quarantine correctly, but it all worked out. But
There was a right way to do the quarantine.
Anything opposite of what I did for sure. I just like drank heavily
made a
every day.
baby.
They made a baby. I didn't do it correctly. But I'm very thankful for my family, and I get to like see them, and I could talk to them about anything, and it's great. So I have that as like a backbone. So when I'm spending time alone, it's not truly alone, But the last 5 months was just marathon training, just running. I cut off all my friends. I go, hey, we're not hanging out until I finish this marathon. And it was.
Did you actually run that whole thing?
I ran the first half, and then my legs gave out. My knee got messed up, and I hobbled the rest. It was the hardest thing I've ever had to do, and it was a nightmare, and I hated most of it. And I'm glad it's over. But it was a
harder than
magical
sobering
experience.
up.
I would say so. Yes, I think.
No way.
Yeah, I was like, this is way harder. I was like, if I can do this, I can do anything.
I called him. I was like, dude, I have FOMO now. Like, I wish I was there. And he was like,
it's crazy.
never do this.
No,
okay.
no.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, because sobering up, I wanted to sober up, so that wasn't as hard. I mean, obviously, it's going to get interesting now that I'm going out again and seeing friends, but it's it's good because I like how I feel now.
Are you completely sober?
Yes.
Yes.
Except for nicotine.
Yeah, no, I hear that. So abstinence, that's very admirable.
Oh wait,
Thank
what?
you.
Abstinence too? Is that
No.
From drugs
Abstinence
and
from alcohol.
Oh, I was like, you don't do sex?
No.
I was like, wow,
No.
good for you. You okay?
One addiction at a time.
Yeah. I was like,
But I feel
why?
like I was avoiding a lot of relationships just to avoid the breakups. Like I would see them coming in the
That's
future.
what I
think
think,
I think I
man.
like went into like doom mode of just like this is probably not going to end well.
Which
Might as well
could
not even
mean-
try it. Which is I don't think that's a good move either. I
But
don't
it
know.
could mean you're super smart. I don't know.
What do you
So wait,
think?
what would it be like when you say I would see it coming? Tell me what
I-
that means. Give me an
Like,
example.
if he had a girlfriend thing, not to
Like-
speak for
like-
you, it would be like, oh, it's them together, and we go on like couple dates or whatever. But
Yeah,
like,
it's like a classic LA fling, right? You get to
Flings.
6 months and then you're like, where do we take this? And I would always
And
take
he
it
would
of
be
like,
like,
it's over.
ghost, you know?
So you hit a crossroads where it's like either time to like label it or
Yeah.
cut
Yeah.
and run.
Yeah. And
And were there
chose run.
reasons to think that it wasn't going to end well, or you were just worried about
like,
what
did you
that
have red
breakup would feel like?
flags?
I mean, there was always a couple flags for sure.
Yeah, and it wasn't you; it was them.
It was both. I was like, I'm not good for that. I also am like, they could do better. I think I always
That's what
had
I
that
think.
mindset.
I think he had a lot of crippling anxiety of like
they could do better.
self-doubt.
I'm like,
Wow.
I'm not good enough
I
for
can
this
see
person.
That. He always calls himself a piece of shit, even to me, and I'm like, you're not a piece of shit. And like he's like, well, I was. I'm like, no, you weren't even back then. So we're working on
No,
that.
we do things that maybe we're not proud of, but it's not who we are. And
Right.
that kind of self-talk is no bueno. Don't do
Well,
it.
I switched it up during when I was running. I was like, look at me now.
in the marathon.
Yes.
I'm sober. I'm completing this thing that I really want to do, but I'm using my mental power to be like, we're gonna cross that finish line. Even though everything in my body was telling me like, no, stop.
Go to the
So
I'm
that's
like,
a perfect
we're gonna do it.
metaphor for that crossroads that people come to in relationships. So usually, right around there's 3 stages of relationships. The honeymoon stage, which we all love. Then there's the organic love stage, which is where we've done all the stuff in the first stage to fall in love, build the trust and security to be in that second stage. And then there's that, and I'm going to go back into explaining some details, what that second stage also encompasses. And then there's that third stage, which is mindful love. That's the promised land where we all want to get to. Most relationships live and die in that second stage. Most of us can get through the honeymoon stage, but we get into that second stage. And what characterizes organic love is that we're suddenly feeling safe enough with one another to let our true selves out a little bit.
Right.
Also, the neurochemicals that our brains have been soaked in during the honeymoon stage, they're all going away. They're dissipating. So we're sobering up, straight up sobering up
It's
for
literally
the
addiction.
first time, starting to see the person with a different lens, a cleaner lens. And we're starting to, lean into being a real human being with that person. What also happens at the same time, though, is that we begin to test each other. We begin to have our first disagreements, our first bickering. And because most people don't have relationship skills, they either grin and bear it and white knuckle their way through, or should I say, stay in that second stage with white knuckles. And it's sort of like a Cold War. They're committed and they're going to stay in it, even though the passion is gone and they don't really like the person because they're not having disagreements appropriately. Or they see the disagreements and the bickering as warning signs to get out. When in reality, the bickering, the disagreements, it is all normal. And what you're meant to do in that second stage is learn how to have a fight, learn how to have a disagreement, learn how to communicate in ways that you didn't learn in your family and in ways that are fundamentally terrifying to you as an individual. So whether you're somebody who responds to emotional distress by needing to talk about it now, immediately in this moment, can't sit with discomfort and will literally stalk your partner around the room, or you're somebody who will avoid it like the plague, tries to let everything roll off their back to be that cool partner until you're at a breaking point, and then you're just like, I'm ready to leave. I don't even need this anymore.
Don't do that.
The challenge in this stage is to engage in a different communication style.
Yeah.
But like, we think that we're seeing red flags because we don't know how to pick partners. It's amazing anybody's happy in relationships, quite frankly. We don't know how to pick partners. We pick people who are hot. Meanwhile, 15 years later, they're not going to look like that. And you're lucky if you even resemble what you looked like when you met the person.
True.
And, and we're looking for like things that we have in common. Do we have the same hobbies of interest, that sort of thing? And hobbies change over time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm
Ryan's like, Megan,
doing?
I can't compete with this child. Ryan's like, I can't compete with my nephew.
I love you. Sorry. He was having so much fun, but he's jumping on me.
He is
I feel
so
like
Thank
beautiful.
you.
like
so
I'm
much.
into finding someone that has a totally different interests, and like I want to see the different part of life. I don't really want someone that likes absolutely everything. I think the only thing that's important to me is like humor. You gotta like laugh at the same shit.
Oh, for sure. If somebody
That's
can't laugh with you and at them,
yeah.
I mean, whatever you find funny. I mean, I love to make fun of myself.
Yep.
If I can't even be friends with somebody who can't laugh at themselves.
Yeah.
Self-deprecation is my drug
Yeah.
of choice.
That's
I love
how
it.
that's like, and that's hard for a lot of people, especially
Yeah.
out here in Cali, because we're like East Coasters.
Yeah,
We're
we like make fun of each
Where
other
you
all
guys
day long.
from?
We're from Nantucket,
From
Massachusetts.
Nantucket, Mass. Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we're like Cape Cod. We're like, we like pick on each other out of
Yeah.
love.
Like I'll say
And-
something to Megan and Daryl will be like, "You let him talk to you like
Yeah,
that?"
he disrespects you. I was like, what? We were
just-
literally just talking. Like, what are you
Or
talking?
it's
I
just
don't
like
even
a
know what you're
quick
saying.
like little fight of like, yeah, fuck you, and then it's over the next day. Like it's
so that's like, we're used to that, and so anyone coming into my family, like my husband got destroyed, like picked on all the time, but he had this mentality that I've never heard of that was like, well, at least they're laughing. And I was like, we gotta get married. Like I was like, you can handle this, you're the one. And he
Yeah,
loves
it's pretty
it.
awesome.
And like that's how he'll survive. So whoever these girls are too, because we have another brother, and my mom and I are like, whoever they're gonna marry, like, God bless their soul. But like, I'm excited.
Yeah, but you're pretty awesome. You're like the best sister that anybody
Dude,
could
I
have.
will be the best sister. Like,
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. No, the love between you guys this is so not perfect. I'll be honest with you. Coming into this, I was like, are they going to be like performative siblings? No, I feel it. I definitely feel the love.
Imagine if we just like acted like,
ta-da!
all right, sis, so breakups.
Nah, yeah, we've lived together our whole lives. I don't know if they told
She's
you
the
that. but
homie.
she-
Also, like LA's
she
scary.
lives
You know,
there.
you gotta
dude, cling
gotta
on to
stick
people
together.
you know. Yeah.
Yes. No, I've been and I filmed there, and it's where
Yeah.
I lived when I filmed there. And God, it's been so long since I've been back there. I cannot wait to go back.
Yes. How's New York?
New York is fine. New York is really like, you can't kill this city.
Nah, yeah.
It's different than it was, and it's going to morph into some different version of what it wasn't before the pandemic, kind of like the rest of us. You know what I'm saying? I'm not
Yeah.
the same person I was at the top of this pandemic. I don't know about you. I mean, you multiplied.
Yeah,
Megan.
we did. I
Like,
straight up
so-
made another one of me's.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm an entirely different.
At some
human being.
point, Megan, at some point we have to talk about the toilet situation, though.
Oh my God, it'll never die.
Why, ma'am?
Because I'm curious. No,
You're
I'm
curious
just so curious.
Because you want to do it
because
in
it's
your
so
house too?
No, because it's so antithetical to the way I think and the way all the partners that I've ever been with have been the opposite of that. And I'm somebody who can be chameleon-like and sort of, to a certain extent, I'm a Virgo and rigid. Who am I kidding? I'm not chameleon-like. I've
love you so fucking much.
I've been with my wife 15 years. I've never heard her fart. You guys are
What
pooping
the
next to
fuck?
each other.
Bro,
shit.
sometimes
Because here's the thing. It's like if you don't want to have sex with your husband, you can just say no. You don't have to poop next to him. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm worried
no,
that that's going to
we could still have
result
sex
in that.
after that happens. That's how much we love
Really?
each other. No, yeah, we're gross. And I say that. Sorry, brother. But he loves me so much, and it goes back to that thing where you have a partner that's like championing you on. And it goes back to where, like, I used to struggle pooping. Like, I publicly pooping, I can't do it. I have a fear. And, like, pooping in general is, like, I've never been good at it. And I would poop, like, every 3 days because my eating was so bad. And I'm
very
healthy
tricky.
now.
Yes,
I'm healthy
yes.
now, and I'm not poop shaming myself anymore. And
Good.
I take these probiotics, Just Thrive, and I poop every day. And so when I would have these giant, massive poops that I've never had my entire 27 years of living, I would scream in the bathroom like, Daryl! And he was like, what's wrong? And I was like, I just lost like 3 pounds. And he like, I've shown him. I've been like, check this out. And he's like, Jesus Christ.
God.
And that's how close we are. We're best friends, lovers. That's going to go viral now.
Can I just tell you though, like this is partly the dream and partly the problem with the dream. Everyone wants that. Everybody.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
We want that one person that we can be absolutely repugnant in front of.
Yes.
Our most disgusting selves.
Oh, I
And
see what you're saying now.
you know what's interesting is that I literally use the poop analogy to work with my clients to be like, look, I know you want to be yourself when you walk in the door. Nobody wants to see you in your organic state, right? Because like, what would that look like? That would look like pooping in your pants, pooping in front of your partner. You know, if you want to take it to a physical level and emotionally,
Gotcha.
what does that look like? Walking in the door and you don't feel like getting off your ass and greeting your partner. You have to do that. You don't get to sit on your ass. You slap the smile on your face to hug your partner and spend 30 seconds with your partner asking about their day before you start bitching about yours. That is the stuff that the myths of relationship results in all of us thinking that second stage of relationship is, oh, it's time to get out. There's something wrong here because I should just be able to be me. Well, nobody really wants you to be you. Nobody wants to be in your company. But I saw that stuff long before you and I were scheduled to meet up, and I looked at it about the pooping and I was like, what is this going to do to my whole analogy now? Now my clients, when I give them that example of the pooping, they're going to be, but like Meghan and Daryl do it. And they're like, she found a partner who will tolerate it. So you basically undermine one of my greatest examples, and now I have to come up with another one.
I know. I'm confused when you're like, nobody wants to see you at your grossest, because I'm like, Daryl loves me at my nastiest. Like the C-section too. When I had a C-section, he was there. Like he took off my bandage. He not wiped up, but he pulled up my underwear every time I peed, whether it was bloody or not. He's there with me if I'm like, yeah.
So here's the thing. I don't think that is, I think that's a reasonable expectation caregiving.
Yeah,
but I mean voluntarily expose one. And I would just worry that like, you know what I mean? Like, I just worry that, I don't know.
I don't know, man.
When I think
he adores me.
just help me work through this for a few seconds.
Ma'am.
Like, I just kind of worry that like, part of what, like, think about Ryan and what he loves about dating. Part of what he loves about dating is probably the fact that he can't predict what the new girl is going to say or is going to do. It's exciting. How is she going to react to the place I bring her to? Some of that intrigue is the stuff that we miss in that second stage and beyond of relationships. And
right.
I just wonder and worry for you guys.
Worry about us.
A little bit. You're doing okay.
You worry about like the sexual part. Like, how do you think that's sexy if you can see my poop?
Yeah.
Because we have our ways. We have our we have a great sex life because Because
I hate this episode.
Just
I don't
take
know,
your
because we-
headphones off, Ryan.
just take headphones off. I'm right next
He's
to him.
right here.
Oh, that's right.
I just did. This is so weird. I just did a Facebook Live phone call, like sex talk with like Bella Thorne and
swear.
Anita. And it's
I
been
swear
like,
I'm not that dumb.
no, like you're so cute. I did a sex talk the other day with Bella Thorne and Anita, and I was like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
And I was the random one because I had a husband and I was with one person and I was married, and they're like, how do you not get
You're like
bored?
the oddball. Yeah.
They're like, how do you not get bored and like want to move on? And I was like, because every time is amazing, and every time like we have a menu of different options, or like, what would you like to have tonight? There's like I don't know, he's like my best friend, and I could tell him anything. I can communicate with him anything. And that's what we've been doing since day one of like, yo, when you do this, I'm uncomfortable, or I love this. And so
Yes,
we're very
telling each other
open.
what you
Yeah.
like is as important, if not more important, than identifying what you don't like. And that's going back to knowing yourself. You have to know what you like and what you don't like, and thread the needle for your partner on the common denominators. And that's great that you guys can do that. How long have you been together?
That's a great question. 5 years.
It's always tricky, right? I'm not sure about that number of years we've been married. Steph, how long we been married?
Oh my God.
12 years, right?
So
We've been
12
together
years.
for 5 years.
Yeah.
And we're also like that weird couple that's not very common, but like after day 1, we were together every single day. And by day 6, we were like, I'm in love with you. I'm in love with you. And by day 11, he was on tour with us and like basically living with me. So
you're lesbians.
That's what my mom says. My mom's like, you two are lesbians. And I was like, we are. We moved in.
100%. That's
I've
so
never heard
funny.
of this. What is this?
Because
What is this?
lesbians are like, I'm in love with you, like day 2.
Because there's no guy pushing back against the commitment.
there's
So
no
you've got
guy.
two
Daryl's a
women.
lesbian.
Daryl's a lesbian. He's my lesbian.
You've got two women
I'm
who've
so
been
glad you said
socialized
it.
to nest together. I had
That's
to. I mean, you
dude.
lobbed me a softball on that one. Thank
Quickly
you.
Bro,
turned
I'm
into
so
my
glad you
favorite
said
episode.
it. No, we've been called that many a times. We're lesbians.
No, I know. And I always warn my lesbian clients, I'm like, do not do the lesbian merge.
The
Space
classic.
is good. And then they ask, so how did you and Steph do it? And I'm like, do as I say, not as I did. You know, because it happened. It totally happened.
Yeah, dude.
And we were best friends before we ever were together. And before that, we worked together.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Anyway, breakups.
Breakups, right? Why we're together?
And
Why
we're
we
back.
poop? Why we're back?
Yeah.
What is the question I had? Like,
Break
do you have any
up
tips?
in person. Break
yeah,
up
yeah.
in person. So if you can't be physically together, I mean, look, how are we even qualifying a break? I just think that if you've hung out more than 5 times, you owe the person at least a video call. At least a
Interesting.
video call. You know what I
Wow.
mean?
Okay.
Because like, here's the other thing. Don't you want, I don't know. I don't mean to impose my values on anybody. She says that she's about to, but don't you want to be a good person? Don't you want to like leave that person who you're not wanting to be with in okay shape?
Yeah.
I just don't want, I guess I worry about karma. I've had enough bad things happen to me with me trying to be a good human being. I can't imagine how bad shit would look if I didn't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
so if you're going to, and I'm the one who gets them, they wind up in my virtual office weeping and wailing because usually the guy just ghosts them or emails them or texts
Horrible.
them. And they're like, I wasn't even worth a phone call.
Oh,
And-
God, what have you done?
And but look, and I'm also
my
going to say
karma.
that they
I've got my karma.
listen, the reason you don't do it, Ryan, is because you don't want to feel the discomfort in
I don't want the
watching them.
wrath.
Are
I
you
don't
really
want the-
worried
I
about
don't
their
want the
wrath? I think that's bullshit.
Because
Come
they
on.
love you so much.
Nah, yeah, I don't want to see the discomfort for sure. I don't want to experience that, I guess. Yeah. I wasn't a man. I was a fucking boy. You know, I regret everything every way that I've stopped talking to a girl. Like, I'm not proud.
Yeah, but now moving forward, you know how
Moving
to
forward,
Yeah.
and then these
Listen,
tools.
we've all
this
done
is
it.
This
we
is
have all done it, Ryan.
Yeah.
You're no worse than the rest of us. You just, when you know better, you do better. That's all.
Right. I like
Yes.
the new thing you showed me is like even after a few days, like a little FaceTime, like, hey, I don't think we're gonna be doing what we're trying to do anymore. Like you know,
It was weird after
That's a
because you
good-
know
that's a
how
good-
women mature way faster. He's like just catching up and he's 29, you know what I mean? But at 22,
Right.
I was like, I'm only like spending my time with a future husband. Like I'm not trying to fuck around. I'm not trying to have a fling and have fun. So if I did this thing of like red flags, and if I had like serious red flags, I was like, this is not worth my time. And with Daryl, there was like 0 red flags. And that's how I knew, like, okay, you're worth my time. You may come on tour with us. Welcome to the fam. Moving.
Wow.
it's impressive.
So that's also a thing you could have, I guess. Is that a nice thing to do, red flags, or is that too paranoid? Yeah.
Here's the thing. What were your red flags?
My red flags were like, are they an asshole? Are they rude to my family, you know? Or will they not get along with my family? Yeah, and I was like, I'm just looking for a nice guy. And Daryl's one of the last few men out there that open the door still for me everywhere I go. And,
Gentleman.
you know, gentleman shit. Makes my breakfast every morning for me. He treats me too good. It's a different level. Yeah, I'm his princess. And,
I love that.
yeah, so that I was just like, damn, you're kind. And he never changed, you know. But if he did change, it was for the better. And we've just grown together, and we're soulmates. I love him.
Can I just tell you what an anomaly it is, how unusual it is that he didn't change? Because most of us do when we get into that second stage, because that first stage, we're literally high. I mean, literally,
He
they've
must have been
measured the
super
chemicals
high,
in our
too.
brains. And they're similar to, are you breastfeeding, Megan?
I did breastfeed.
So remember how you felt really good as you were breastfeeding because
No,
your
man,
brain
it
secretes? No,
fucking
that
sucked.
Didn't
hurt.
work out too
They'd
well.
hurt. Okay, forget it. Forget it. Don't
there
use
is-
that.
I
Don't
know
use
what
that
drug
in
you're
the
talking
thing.
about. I know what drug you're talking about, though. When I'm holding my baby, there's some type of
Yeah,
euphoria.
yeah.
It's
Yes.
some real drugs.
Yes.
Yeah.
So with the pain of nursing and the image in my head, I lost the thread on where I was going with that.
That's the high you get in love. That's the high you get with love.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's real. That for
Yes,
sure. That for
100%.
sure goes away. But then there's moments of little sparks that bring you back to that.
And what can help is if you try to remember how you behaved in the beginning and you try to keep that up. And I sound condescending, but I totally mean it. Like in the beginning, we don't have to try to be considerate to our partners, which is why I'm saying what you see in the beginning, it's probably not getting any better than that. That's probably the best version of your partner you're ever going to see. But instead, we all date, well, women date hoping the partner's going to change. Men date hoping they're never going to change. And,
Yeah.
anyway, so, but
that's what's
but it
crazy
does
about
change.
Daryl. That's what's crazy about Daryl is that he got better, and he had this catchphrase, I will say, of like, I'm only getting better. That's what he always said to me, and I was like, what do you mean? And like now I know what he means. He's just like,
so he was consciously, he was
Yeah.
conscious of that. Good for
because
him.
also when I met him, a lot of people don't know this, is like he was homeless at the time. And that could have been a red flag for people, but not for me.
That's so interesting that wasn't
Flag
that
to
is
my
so
desk.
interesting that wasn't a red flag for you. Do you mind telling a little bit about his story?
Okay, come here, talk about this. So I just mentioned
homeless.
when I met you, you were homeless.
Yes, I heard
And I
that.
said some
Thank
people would
God
say that's a
you're
red
here,
flag,
Daryl.
but I don't think that's a red flag because I
Yes.
loved you so much, and that
Yes.
you're more of a gentleman even now today because like people in the euphoria
You
stage
don't
of
have to repeat it. I just heard everything you just said, which is why you said
you ran downstairs.
You said,
This
would
is
you like
getting
to
out of
explain
control.
his story? And I said,
think
no,
you
I'll
need to-
explain my story.
Okay,
I think you need a much more mature attitude.
that's my dad.
This is chaos.
Hi,
Shh, we're listening to a
If
story.
we need therapy, we should all get in.
Mr. Trainer.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Don't ask about
Darcy.
relationships. He's been married 3 fucking times. Don't ask him. Okay, Daryl's telling his story.
Who's counting?
Anyway, it was a choice. I had places to live. I didn't want to live there
There it is.
because I needed to be on my own.
Yeah.
So I had all my shit in my car. And when I met Megan, we were set up on a date. It just so happened when I had all my stuff in my car when our date happened. And so like I had my entire life in the trunk of my car. I walked around with a backpack that had like extra clothes, a toothbrush. And so like when we started hanging out and like I would spend the night with her, I had a backpack, and she was like, "Why do you have a backpack?" And I was like, "Well, I'm in between places." And
I was like, did you assume you could sleep over?
Because that's what every girl would think.
Head.
I was like, bitch, you bought a toothbrush? Like,
I also like, didn't want my breath to smell bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically the story.
She called us lesbians because we are.
Aw.
Yeah,
That's
welcome
so
to
sweet.
the fam.
Aw, thank you
100%. You're
so
welcome.
much.
Because we
Yeah.
found love so
Yes,
fast.
we did. We were lightning speed.
You
but
guys,
like we
U-Hauled.
really had like the love at first sight. At least I did. I saw her and I was like, I looked homeless on our first date. Like I had a big beard. I was really nervous,
Forgot about the
and
beard.
my mentality was like, well, if she can love me like this, then she can love me in any way.
Now I understand the poop. Now I get it.
Really?
Now I get it 100% because
your
you
catchphrase.
were able to show up for him in probably the worst version of yourself that you could ever imagine leading with.
Well, I honestly was the opposite. I was the happiest I'd ever been. I felt the best I'd ever felt. I felt free.
You just like.
I had a very like controlling childhood, and where I was told what to do my entire childhood. And so when I met Meghan, you were all talking about earlier of like finding yourself first.
Yeah.
I had just found myself. I
Sick.
had just discovered who I was, and really like loved myself right before I met Meghan. And then I met Meghan, and I was like,
catchphrase, I'm only getting better.
I'm only getting better. I promised her. My promise to her always was like, I promise I'll get better. I promise I'll only get better.
Is this a therapy session for him?
That's so
Everybody,
nice.
I already got mine.
I promise I'll only get better. I'm going to
Isn't
use
he an
that.
angel?
Your cup
I
is
really
he
like
does.
that.
He's the greatest. I'm too lucky. Over there, the schmucks over there. I don't
Ri-
listen to them.
Does
They're
Ryan
jealous,
look like
they're
his
jealous.
What are you
dad?
talking? We're in love. What
Yeah,
are you
except I got dad's nose.
What a beautiful family you guys are. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
so back to breakups. So
Yeah.
breakup, do it when there's a visual. The closer you can get to in person, the more respect you communicate to the person, and the less fractures they're going to walk away with.
Okay,
That's
cool.
nice.
And then I
That's
guess
it. That's all I got.
Thank you
That's
so
amazing.
much, doctor.
I'm totally kidding.
what about like say it's on the opposite end. You're getting broken up with, and you're like, this was my person. What is happening? How do I even like bounce back from this? What am I gonna do? And
Yeah.
you feel helpless, and you're like crushed, and you just like
You preparing?
there's no way out of this feeling.
Oh, you talk to me.
Nope.
Ryan, that was such a great question. And I hate it when people answer questions by saying that, but that legitimately was. So what I wish we could have exit surveys with our partners. Like I wish my clients could have their exes fill out an exit survey so I could get it, so I could see what the problem is. I mean, I can almost always figure out what the problem was, but it'd be so much easier for those people who aren't in therapy to at least get some takeaways. This is why it didn't work out. You were too this or not enough this. I didn't like it when you did this. Or just like, we had sex a couple times. I just wasn't feeling it. That funny way you kiss with your tongue, it's just too much. Whatever it is, I do wish partners could tell each other. If you're super brave, I would ask. Ask. I mean, maybe you need to wait a beat. I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't blame anybody who needed to wait a very long beat to ask for that information. But, my daughter recently broke up with her boyfriend, and he fucking asked, what do you think I could have done differently? And I gave myself chills now just remembering that. I have never heard of anybody doing that, offering that. Yeah. It's not like I indoctrinate these kids. Well, I try to, but I don't think they really hear me. I do try to beat relationship skills over their heads, but he didn't get that from me. I don't know where he got that from, but to his credit, she was able to give him feedback that she would never have otherwise because she wanted to be kind. She didn't, it was hard enough to break up with somebody. So anyway, I do
Did
think it's
Doctor have a
important
child
information.
when she was 16.
I know she's
Oh,
gorgeous.
you
See, that's smooth.
guys.
That's smooth.
This is
That's
this
nice.
is yeah. This why you got all the ladies,
You have a
huh?
daughter
We're
that's
fucking
old enough to be
jamming.
dating.
It literally
know.
runs in the
crisis.
family. It runs in the family.
So that is interesting. I like that. So you just ask, you just flat out like, hey, like, what did I do wrong? Because I mean, life
Well,
is
what?
all
Not
lessons.
what did I do wrong? What could I have done differently?
Okay, what could I have done
Is there
differently and
anything
better?
I could have done differently? And I'm not saying this to change your mind. I'm just for my own personal growth and development.
Gotcha.
And that, I mean, it's just like that's a lofty ambition to put out there and encourage people to say. And I realize that I don't even know if I would be able to do that, to be honest.
Sometimes
Yeah.
I feel like the other person who's breaking up with you is like I asked my first boyfriend, I was like, why? Just tell me why. But maybe I was just too aggressive with it because I was crying. I was like, why? But like at a young age, if he just said his truth, which was like, I'm going to college, I want to be single for college, I would have
Yeah.
been like, oh, that makes sense.
Right.
Instead, I took it as I'm a terrible person. He hates me. I'm ugly.
not good
I'm not
enough.
good enough. Yeah. And that
Well,
like
that was also your first
love
the
ever.
first love breakups. I feel like are hard
virginity,
for-
everything. He had it all.
Oof.
Yeah, who's crying now?
That bitch. I don't know. I don't know if he's alive. It's probably alive.
What does it
Damn.
mean when you can't remember your first love?
That's sad.
I need more help. Another
It
show.
means you're a grandpa. That's what it means.
You got some brain injury, man. We gotta work on that.
Dirty grandpa.
Jesus. Anyways, we've taken an hour of your
Yeah,
time.
this was
You guys are
actually amazing.
fine.
I
I would
worship
love
you.
to have you back for more, just to keep you updated on my life.
I
Do you have
never-
services?
yeah.
Like what's going on?
100%,
What could you promote here?
100%.
Can you promote all your shit for us too? Can you promote your Instagram and your website?
Oh my
everything?
God, you would just think after the number of situations I've been in just like this, I would have it all memorized and laid out. No.
It's
you know
okay.
what
We'll
I have?
post it.
You know
Yeah,
what
we'll
I
put
have
it all
to
in
laid
there.
out? I have Ryan and Megan, so I don't forget your names.
Doesn't even
That's
spell it.
Yeah. Doesn't even spell it right.
Doesn't
yeah.
spell it. It's okay. I
We'll
love you
put your
so much.
information. in
I
every
mean, it
Well,
just
yeah.
shows you that I'm not a fangirl. I'm just legitimately, I've enjoyed this time with you guys so much. And
Us too.
yeah, I would love to hear how you're doing, Ryan,
Yes, we'll
over
have
time.
to do.
I'll keep you
We'll
updated.
have to do a
You're
breakup,
gonna be my new
like
friend.
a number 2 breakup episode, and we'll call you back and we'll let you know what the update is. Hello.
100%. And if you need like quick and dirty advice on dating and relationships, you can always just write into askdrdarcy.com.
There it is.
There
okay,
it
perfect.
is. She remembered it.
Yeah, somebody yelling in my ear.
There
There we
it is.
go.
Okay, great. Please tell your wife we say hi.
I will.
And I can't, when I never go to New York, but one day if I magically do, we got to meet in person.
100%. That would be great.
We love you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you again,
And your
yeah.
wisdom.
You're awesome.
My
amazing.
pleasure. Bye-bye,
Congrats
guys.
on your looks. You're
Bye,
gorgeous.
thanks.
Bye, queen.
Bye.
So we got just a couple video submissions, not that many. So this is Maggie St. John.
Maggie.
Hey,
The-
Megan and Ryan, it's Maggie. I just wanted to come on here and tell you a story and ask for your advice. So I was in love with this guy for 10 years, and it started when I was really young. So it started with I was in like with him, and then it turned into me being madly in love with him with this unrequited love, him not knowing how I really felt, and I would write songs about him and send them to him, and he wouldn't know that they were about him, and it was just a crazy, crazy time. That being said, because I was in love with him for 10 years, I said no to a lot of people who wanted to go out with me, and because I felt that my heart was in a relationship. So even though we were never technically together, I was committed to this person because I thought that I was just waiting for them. It's been a couple years since I told him how I felt, and obviously it didn't turn out the way that I wanted it to, because I'm here asking for advice. So my question is, how do I enter the dating scene as a 25-year-old who's never really dated anyone before because they were infatuated with someone for 10 years?
Oh, my sweet Maggie.
J-Train when you need it.
I
Where
know.
is J-Train?
would be.
First of all, you're never too I think she said 25 because she thinks she's old starting in the dating world or something. But she's not. You're a baby.
Yeah, still super young.
Our younger brother just started dating. He's 25. And it's like, it's adorable.
You start when you start.
You start when you start. Doesn't matter what age. Yeah.
I would just say do all the communication from the beginning. Communicate
Right.
your feelings. I feel like 10 years is such a long time to hold on to feelings and
not let him out.
and then not communicate.
My heart hurts for
I know.
her.
She's told me the story.
Oh,
I'm
my
like, I don't know what to
goodness,
do.
10
But she's
years.
written some great songs.
Baby girl,
Oh,
first
that's
of all,
great.
let's take them 10 years and let's say thank you for the amazing songs you wrote.
Yep.
And then now let's write some new songs about like, I'm single, ready to find me a boy, you know? That's what I do.
Yeah, you could just like manifest your future love in your
Manifest
songs.
your future love in your songwriting.
There we go.
Dear future husband, I found him, did it.
And I guess like J Train likes what, Hinge, like that app.
Oh,
is-
yeah, great apps. Bumble is great.
Bumble. He likes
tried all
Bumble.
the apps.
He likes
tried,
Bumble.
He dipped his
He
toes
loved
in
Bumble
all
the
the apps.
most. Yeah. But just get out there, have fun.
Get out there.
Get out there, have fun, make some friends.
You got any dating advice?
Is
I
this
would go to church. You could pick up a lot of women at church, man.
Wow.
Here's
There we
Will.
go.
Nice women.
Sunday
Speaking of
fun day,
church,
baby.
Here's Will.
Hi Megan, hi Ryan.
Hello.
Question / experience for your podcast.
Big Willie.
What I want to know is what is your opinions on open relationships, like with couples that are together, but also people that are just dating? You know, do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's a bad idea? Because I've got an experience with one, which I can't say it all because I've only got a minute for the video. But a guy I was seeing, I didn't particularly like being open, but he wanted to be open. And I ended up having my heart broken. It was just an absolute load of rubbish. And if somebody asked me for one again, I'd say, no, go yourself. Not happening. So let me know what you think. Do you think open relationships are, you know, what's your opinion on them? Do you think they're easy? Would you think they're easy? I don't know if you've ever had one, but, you know, let me know. Because discuss it. Please just do it. Discuss it for me.
I fucking love you,
Ciao
Will.
for now.
Ciao for now. I fucking love him so much. Me first.
This side's gonna say closed. Not
Well,
open.
listen. I think whatever floats your boat, do it. Do whatever makes you happy.
Of course.
If you're in a relationship and you're like, I need to be in an open relationship, and your partner agrees with you, and you guys want to fly,
Great.
fly, baby, fly. Whatever keeps you happy. For me and
Over
this
here,
guy,
Case closed.
case closed. I am too jealous. He's jealous. He looked at a woman the other day, just went, and I said, "Who is it?"
Can't even
I said-
look.
No, it's
He
someone
double
I thought-
takes.
It's someone I thought I knew.
He thought he knew her, but I was like, "Why you double taping
And
this
then-
fucking redhead over here?"
Oh, no
you
double
bitch?
take. So one
No
take
double
only.
take.
Yeah.
Because I double taked her too because she was gorgeous, and I was like, "Well, bitch, why you looking at her?"
One take wonder. All
Anyways,
right.
we get too jelly. We're too jealous, so we're not gonna
Anti-open.
hook up with other people.
Yeah.
But
That's right.
Bella Thorne's into that too, so it's very cool.
I
It's
think it's
whatever you do.
different
She's
strokes
just
for
talking
different
about it.
folks.
Dad, what do you
Yeah,
feel about
GT,
open
what's your-
relationships?
Mighty risky, baby. Mighty
Mighty
risky.
risky,
I think it's
baby.
too risky. It's too risky. I think. I don't know. I don't know if I'd be
Dude,
into
I'd
it.
be
I
so
don't-
jealous.
Yeah.
I feel though the culture is moving towards that.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
it's like more normal.
I'm
now
totally
to
yeah.
have.
No,
Whatever
Devin
floats your boat.
disagrees.
No,
I-
I just hear about it
I think
a lot more now.
I think
than
Daryl's
ever.
right. I think a lot of people
Media,
are
yeah.
like monogamy is like doesn't make sense. It's not scientific for our bodies. Like
Yeah,
our bodies are not
I've been
supposed
hearing
to do
that
it.
too,
Yeah.
but I'm like plenty fine, happy right here.
But I get you, Will. Like, you know, you want your soulmate and you want it to just be your soulmate, and that's totally
He was
fine.
probably like trying to make his partner happy, and then
Yeah.
it fucking backfired. I'm sorry, Willie.
You move on, mate.
Move on, mate. You're better than that.
Yeah,
Oof,
rubbish.
sorry. Rubbish. We love you so damn much. Thanks for watching. If you're on YouTube,
You guys gotta watch it. You gotta see
You gotta
Dr.
watch
Darcy in the
it.
camera. Looks
she's
fantastic.
gorgeous.
Thanks for dropping in.
And
That was us, yeah.
Yeah,
Dad, tell
GT,
them-
by the way, we forgot to even. I mean, I guess they knew, but GT just dropped in out of nowhere, really
Yeah, and
caused
my
a scene.
husband.
And Daryl came back. We had Riley, if you want to see him on the YouTube, you know, working on a pod, all socials,
Hey,
YouTube.
subscribe for my child.
Yeah, like and subscribe for
Dad,
the child,
tell them to
baby boy.
subscribe.
Subscribe, baby. Subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Lock it in.
Lock it in.
Bye, everybody.
Twitch.tv/Ryan Trainor.
Working on, working on.